In this video, I'm going to cover the myth of being balanced. Now, this is a myth that it took me quite a while to figure this out, and this video will probably ruffle some feathers. I'll say that just right out of the gate, but it is a very important thing to understand, and just having this basic mindset of understanding what it's going to take to get to where you want to go is very important, very critical. So, yeah, if that sounds interesting, stay tuned. What's up, guys? This is Ryan from elevatecyber. Now, this is pretty near and dear to me because I used to believe in this myth of balance. I mean, you probably heard this many times before because you see it everywhere in society. They say, "Oh yeah, all things in moderation. You want to live a balanced lifestyle. To be obsessed with something, an obsession, that's bad. You really just you got to keep a balanced lifestyle. It's healthy. It's this, it's that, and the other, right?" But one thing you got to consider is that is the common man's advice, right? And if you look around, the common man is not living the life that he or she wants to live, right? The common man normally has issues with money, has issues with happiness, depression and all that stuff, right? And lives a very mediocre and average at everything. I mean, that's why that's why they call it average, right? Because they're at a very average level. Now, if you really want to be someone of value in security, or maybe you're thinking of a different area of your life, if you want to get to where you want to go, if you have any ambition at all, and you definitely should, but that's a whole nother matter. But if you have any ambition at all, then average is not going to cut it, right? So if you have to be exceptional, right? If you can be exceptional, then most certainly you will get your OSCP. Most certainly you will easily have a job anywhere you want and on your terms, and pretty much be able to get anything you want, not only out of this industry, but out of your life in general. So if you got to understand that being exceptional is not common. So if we really want to get to that level, we can't follow the advice of the common man. Now, one thing that I implore you to think about is consider the people that are exceptional in any field, in any area, right? The most exceptional scientists, right? The most exceptional people in our space, in security, right? The people that are making the most money off of bug bounties, or the people that are, writing the best open source security software, like your Harmjoys, stuff like that. What's that one guy, the guy that made all that money off of bug bounties? He used to be a black hat hacker, and he became I can't remember his name now, but you get my point, right? Any of the people that are at the top of their field, if you go back and if you talk to them, you ask them questions, or even do any kind of digging, what you'll see is it required them to put in so much work, so much effort to get to where they are today. And most certainly, if you knew that person, or if you ask anyone that did, I don't think they would describe them as being balanced at all, or doing this stuff in moderation. They were very unbalanced, and that's completely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to get to those exceptional levels of skill, if you are someone that's ambitious, you have to be out of balance, pretty much. You have to have a bias towards the thing you want to improve at. And actually, I'm at a point right now where I have a mentor for every area of my life that I want to improve. And one commonality, even though these are completely different areas, they're very different areas that I'm working towards improving in, each and every one of those mentors has one thing in common, and that is that they are not balanced in their approach to success. Do not be balanced in your approach to success. Now, I think one of the reasons as well that we hear all of this emphasis on, be balanced, everything in moderation, is that it's the crabs in the barrel analogy. If you ever heard that one, right? It's like whenever one of the crabs tries to climb out of the barrel, the other ones pull it back down. And I think, if you've probably, if you're even semi-successful, you probably had this experience before where, you're going after this challenge that was very difficult, and your peers, they knew it was difficult as well, and you achieved it. And you would think they'd be so happy for you, but instead jealousy set in, right? And, maybe it was fitness, maybe it was a certification, maybe it was, a promotion at work or anything, right? And jealousy crept in. And the reason for that is the crabs in the barrel analogy, right? They kind of want to pull you down, because if they see you succeeding, and this is kind of the like loser mentality, right? This is loser behavior. Like when a loser sees you succeed, then they actually start feeling, and not to say these people are losers, but to say this mentality specifically is a loser's mentality, right? But a lot of people fall victim to it, right? Is that when you see someone else succeed, and deep down you're not doing the things you need to succeed, it's going to make you look inward and get uncomfortable, because you realize just how much you are, screwing yourself over. So that's a painful feeling. So you try to pull the other person down to your level so that you don't have to look inward and do the work, right? And I mean, I've been there before. That's why I'm saying this. I'm not speaking to you as if I am like better than you or anything. I've been there 100%. And one thing you got to realize is it is in your control to get whatever it is you want out of life. And it all starts with having that bias towards action and really challenging the notions that you might have heard from people growing up, your peers, the media, your parents, because everyone has an opinion, right? But not everyone's opinion is even valid, Consider the source, most definitely. Here's an exercise. If you want something to take from this video and apply right away, consider the source. Next time someone gives you a piece of advice, take the advice, think about it, and consider, where are they in life? Are they in a position where I'd be willing to trade places with them? Or would I be like, definitely not? Would there be a hard no? Like, I would not want to trade places with this person. I wouldn't want to, live a day in their shoes. Then you should really consider whether or not you should follow that advice. And what you'll find is a lot of this time that, all these preconceived things that have left an impression on your mind subconsciously, a lot of them were given to you by people that you would never in a million years trade places with, right? And so that's something to really keep in mind, because even I sometimes catch myself with these certain thoughts. I'm like, wait, where did that come from? And then if I really think back on it, I'm like, wait, this is not actually valid, because we're very impressionable. We're very malleable beings. That's just how we're created. So basically, what I'm not saying though, what I want to stop and just clarify is, what I'm not saying is that you should always be doing work all the time, and if you're not, you're a loser. If you're not working towards your purpose, your mission 1,000% of the time, then you're a loser. And I'm not saying that. You do need strategic breaks, right? Sometimes you have to just stop, take some time off what you're doing, but it's not as often as you think, really. And you should have a bias towards action, a bias towards moving in the direction of what your mission is, what your purpose is, right? And you'll know when you really need that break, and for sure you can take it then. I mean, everyone has a different setup. Some people like to just work super hard 6 days a week and then have that 7th day off, kind of like in the biblical days, like Jesus God rests on the 7th day or whatever, whatever your approach is, right? So, and then other people like to go super hard for like a couple months and then take like a week or two off, right? So find what works for you, but have that bias towards action, and don't be afraid to live a lifestyle that other people may criticize. Because here's the thing, right? Back to the crabs in the bucket analogy. If you are really pushing 1,000% in the direction you want to go, that's going to really make other people uncomfortable, because they're going to look at their own life and see how they've been, they've had that New Year's resolution to get fit for the last like 5 years now, and they're still fat, right? Or they were trying to go for a certification for several years and they haven't made traction towards it, and it's going to make them uncomfortable. Whatever it is, they're going to look inward and they're going to see like, okay, there's all these things I wanted to do and I haven't made that move. I haven't moved in that direction. And it's going to make them uncomfortable, and they're going to start giving you advice, right? Like, oh, you need to slow down. This is not a healthy lifestyle. You're going to harm yourself, or whatever excuse they try to make, right? They're going to try to convince you that you shouldn't be as on your purpose, or you should ease up, let your foot off the gas a little bit, or what do you need all this for? You have a great life as it is, and all this stuff. Whatever the case may be. But like I said, consider the source. If you really want to get there, then don't be afraid to think a little bit outside the box, and don't do what everyone else is doing. If you want the results of the few, then you must act as the few. So hopefully this video was a thought-provoking one, maybe helped you consider looking at the world a little bit different. That's kind of my goal here, because this was a new concept to me at one point as well, and following it so far, it has served me so well. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit the like button as well to help get this video out there to anyone who might need that motivation, that boost. And I will see you guys over in those videos on screen if you're eager on just getting started. Maybe OSCP is part of your mission, or maybe you just want to learn some more security stuff. Whatever the case may be, here's what you need to know for OSCP. I'll see you guys right over there. Thanks for watching.